NASA has just unveiled high-resolution photos of the comet known as 3I Atlas.
Astronomers say is a comet, probably even older than our own solar system.
The 3I Atlas is not a danger to Earth.
This object is a comet. It looks and behaves like a comet, and all evidence points to it being a comet.
The point is that they are driven by the desire to say, it's a rare object, but it's pretty much similar to objects we know about. Well, there were no new insights as to the properties of this object.
NASA just held their long-awaited press conference on 3I Atlas. After more than 40 days of silence during the government shutdown, after weeks of Avi Loeb publicly requesting answers, after government officials demanding for updates, NASA finally broke their silence. And somehow, they made it more suspicious. Because here's what happened. They spent 45 minutes showing us blurry images we've mostly already seen. They danced around every major anomaly. They gave vague non-answers about interesting behaviors. And when pressed on the specific questions everyone wanted answered, they pivoted every single time. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what NASA refused to address, why their explanations don't add up, and what they're clearly trying to avoid talking about. Let's get into it. What we expected versus what we got. So first, let's talk about what the scientific community was actually waiting for. For over 40 days, these images sat in NASA's servers during the government shutdown. 40 days. And these weren't just any images. These were the high-rise camera images from Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, taken on October 2nd and 3rd when 3I Atlas flew within 18 million miles of Mars. Show dates and timeline graphic. That means we should be able to see actual structure. We should be able to see if there's a nucleus, how the jets are configured, whether there's any geometry to the outgassing patterns. Here's what we expected NASA to address today. Number 1, the 7 simultaneous jets detected by multiple observatories. Not 1 jet, not 2, 7 jets firing in different directions at the same time. Number 2, the non-gravitational acceleration that's been documented. This thing isn't following a purely ballistic trajectory. Number 3, the rapid brightening changes that defied all comet models. It brightened at twice the normal rate for a comet, approaching the sun. Number 4, the anomalous blue color that's inconsistent with typical cometary composition. Number 5, why every major telescope capable of observing it went into maintenance mode at the same time during perihelion. Hubble, JWST, even some ground-based observatories. Number 6, the Europa Clipper ion tail fly-through, October 29th. What did they detect? Number 7, the specific composition data from JWST, showing that unusually high CO2 to water ratio. We wanted answers to these 7 points, clear, specific, scientific answers. We got none of them. Instead, here's what NASA gave us. Slightly sarcastic tone. We've heard the rumors and speculation. We're seeing some interesting behaviors. The data is still being processed. It looks and behaves like a comet. That last one, it looks and behaves like a comet, they must have said 15 times. But here's the problem. They never actually showed us how it behaves like a comet when it's doing things no other comet has done. When asked about the multiple jets, NASA scientist Tom Statler said, and I'm paraphrasing here, "Jets are normal for comets near perihelion. We see jets. This is expected." Okay, but 7 simultaneous jets? In different directions? With asymmetric patterns? Show comparison graphic if possible. Normal comets have 1, maybe 2 jets as they approach the sun, caused by sublimation from areas getting heated. But 7 jets firing at once suggests either this comet has the most chaotic internal structure ever observed, with multiple volatile pockets all activating simultaneously, or something else is happening they don't want to discuss. NASA chose option A and moved on. But here's where it gets really strange. During the Q&A, a reporter asked why there was such a gap in observations during perihelion, the most important phase of any comet's journey through the solar system. NASA's answer? Some assets were undergoing scheduled maintenance, and the government shutdown affected our ability to coordinate observations. Pause for emphasis. Let me tell you what happened during October. Hubble Space Telescope, instrument anomaly, went into safe mode. James Webb Space Telescope, routine maintenance window. Keck Observatory, mirror realignment. Gemini Observatory, limited operations. European Southern Observatory VLT, partial shutdown. Oh, and the government shutdown meant NASA couldn't communicate about any of this for 40 days. So the most advanced telescopes humanity has ever built all happened to need maintenance at the exact moment an interstellar object was at its closest, most active point near the sun? Let that sink in. When pressed on this, NASA said it was unfortunate timing and that we still got valuable data from other assets. They didn't explain why this unfortunate timing coincided perfectly with the period when 3i Atlas was behind the sun from Earth's perspective, the only time when these space-based telescopes would have had a clear view. Now, let's talk about what they really didn't want to discuss: Europa Clipper. On October 29th, Europa Clipper flew through 3i Atlas's ion tail. This wasn't planned. It was a cosmic coincidence, but it happened. And Europa Clipper has instruments specifically designed to analyze charged particles and magnetic fields. One reporter asked, "Did Europa Clipper detect anything unusual during the ion tail passage?" NASA's answer, "Europa Clipper's primary mission is to study Jupiter and Europa. Any data from the 3i Atlas encounter is incidental and still being processed." Incredulous. Still being processed. It's been 3 weeks. When NASA's New Horizons flew past Pluto, they had preliminary data released within days. When Juno entered Jupiter orbit, we had images within hours. But Europa Clipper flying through an interstellar object? Potentially the first time in human history we've actually sampled interstellar material with in situ instruments? And the data is still being processed? They're hiding something. Avi Loeb was watching this press conference too, and within an hour of it ending, he published a response on Medium. His title was, "There is nothing more deceptive than an obvious fact." Read key quotes. Loeb wrote, "I did not expect big news. NASA repeated the official mantra that 3i Atlas is a natural comet and that they were unable to process the data until this week because of the government shutdown. But then he said something crucial. The real story lies in the data associated with the comet's jets. Multiple jets are firing in different directions, and the scientific community still lacks a high-resolution telescope image capable of settling the deeper questions." He's right. The images NASA showed today, they're not high resolution. The high-rise image they showed was smeared due to spacecraft jitter. The SOHO images show a faint blob. The MAVEN images show a hydrogen cloud but no detail. After 40 days, after 8 different NASA missions observing this object, after spending God knows how much money coordinating all of this, we have blurry dots. Loeb ended his post with this: "Life is worth living if we allow for the unexpected to surprise us. Bureaucrats or imaginationless scientists want us to believe in the expected, but the rest of us know that the best is yet to come." Translation: NASA is playing it safe, following the script, and refusing to acknowledge anything that doesn't fit the normal comet narrative. So what's actually going on here? I don't think NASA is covering up an alien spacecraft. I think that's too simple. What I think is happening is this. They have data that shows 3i Atlas behaving in ways that don't fit any existing comet model, and they don't know how to explain it without either admitting their models are wrong or opening the door to speculation they can't control. The 7 jets? Unexplained. The non-gravitational acceleration? Consistent with cometary behavior, but they won't show us the math. The rapid brightening? Unusual but not unprecedented, but they can't name another comet that did this. The blue color? Interesting, but no explanation. Every single anomaly gets acknowledged and then dismissed with vague reassurances. And the timing? The telescopes going down during perihelion? The 40-day communication blackout? The still processing Europa Clipper data? Lean in, serious tone. That's not conspiracy. That's bureaucracy protecting itself from questions it doesn't want to answer yet. Because if they admit they don't understand what they're looking at, the public panic machine starts. The alien theories spread. Congress demands answers they don't have. The media spins it out of control. So instead, they give us a carefully choreographed press conference that says a whole lot of nothing. What happens next? Here's what we know for sure. December 19th, 3I Atlas makes its closest approach to Earth, 170 million miles away. Between now and then, ground-based observatories will have their best chance yet to observe this object. No more behind-the-sun excuses, no more instrument maintenance. If Avi Loeb is right, and there is something unusual about this object, we'll know in the next 4 weeks. If NASA is right and it's just a natural comet with some quirky behaviors, then the data will speak for itself. But after today's press conference, I'm not confident NASA is going to be transparent about whatever they find. They had 40 days to prepare for this, 8 different missions, dozens of scientists. This should have been the press conference that answered everything. Instead, it raised more questions than it answered. And that, more than anything else, is what makes this suspicious.
What do you think? Did NASA's press conference satisfy you, or do you think they're deliberately avoiding the hard questions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on 3I Atlas as we head toward the December 19th close approach, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. This story is far from over. I'll see you in the next one.